Hi guys and girls on YouTube, welcome to my channel and welcome to my tip of the day, a fault finding tip on flat screen TVs. Now we've got this TV, it won't come on, but it does have a red light lit up on the front. So the first thing we need to do is check the voltage across this capacitor. Right, so here we go. Just touch onto there, if you can see the meter in the background. So we've got 395 volt. Now that means the power factor correction circuit's working and the chances are the fault's not on the power supply. So let's move over onto the main board and I'll give you the tip of the day. Now for most TVs these days there's no service manual available. The manufacturers don't supply them. So your first port of call when you've no service manual is to look for 3 terminal regulators. Now quite often these have diodes in series with the incoming supply to drop the headroom to the regulator. It's just a cheap, poor quality way of lowering the input to the regulator. So in this set we've got 2 diodes, both in series, that should the silicon, the surface mounted equivalents to IN4007. So we should have a 1.4 drop across them. So whatever's going in, there should be 1.4 less coming out. Right, so if we look at my set, straight away I can see a regulator here and I can see 2 diodes in series with the input to it. So let's just measure first. Right, so that's the incoming supply, 5 volt. Then we move to the other side of the diode. It should be approximately 0.7 volt drop. So we've got 4.43 coming out, that's correct. That's in series with the next diode, so we've got 4.43 going in, and we should have 0.7 volt less than that coming out. So we move to the other side, and we've only got 1.35 going in, but there's 4.43 going. There's 4.43 going in, but only 1.35 coming out. So that's the problem. It's that diode. Now this is a very common fault in a lot of TVs. And I don't know why, but it's also a very common fault in DVD mechanisms. If you get one of these that's dead, just undo the board, flip it over, look for some diodes in series, and chances are you'll find that's the culprit. Now sometimes these diodes, they'll test like they're faulty in circuit, but once you've desoldered them, if you test the diode again, you'll actually find it's working because the heat from the soldering iron has done something to the internal junction. So let's just flip them out and put a couple of new ones in. These are actually marked M7, but they're just the surface mounted version of the IN4007. Right, so the first thing we do is dab a little bit of leaded solder onto these so they're easy to remove, because they actually use lead-free solder in most modern things now. I've got the new ones there ready to go in. Even though only one's faulty, I'm going to replace both at the same time because they're both in series, so the other one could go at any time. Right, so we're ready. Well, I'm going to be using the thermal tweezers here to remove these. They're all set up, ready. That's if I can hold the camera at the same time. That's one. And that's the second one off. So that's it. 2 diodes out. 2 new diodes in. Let's just switch on. Take some more readings. So we've got 5 there. 4.2 there. 4.2 there. And 3.37 there, so that's the reason for them. So the input to that regulator now is only 3.38 volt and the output is 1.86 volt. Right, now I've just soldered 2 bits of wire to these diodes, so let's test them now they're out of circuit. That's the first one. and as you can see it has a forward voltage of 0.66 volts. So I'll swap that for the other one. And that also has a forward voltage of 0.66 volt. So just as I suspected, once they've been warmed up with once they've been removed and the solder's been warmed up, these actually go right again. So you can get these going intermittent. In fact, it's very, very common for these to go intermittent. So if you see any in series with the incoming supply to a 3-terminal regulator, you just change them. So there we go, guys and girls, that's my tip of the day. That's the TV up and running, and that's my tip of the day.
It's got some really nice original features. 2 things you've got to find out.
Alright guys and girls, many thanks for watching my video, and I'll catch you in the next one.